Ref has just been unlocked by BSG in the hardcore wipe, meaning that players can now use their GP coins and Lega medals to buy items in the base game, and yeah, I think it's a bit busted. Arena has been a big concern for many players considering the integrity of the hardcore wipe, and it's already been controversial due to the money transfer. Rubles are far easier to generate in Arena versus the base game, and while you can't move them over infinitely, at 500k for a standard account and 750,000 rubles for EOD or Unheard, it has a massive impact on the early game experience, this wipe in particular due to the hardcore restrictions. I'll show you in a second which parts of Ref I think are particularly overpowered, but you don't just get him immediately. What is unlocked specifically is Skier's task Easy Money Part 1, and anybody can do this along with the first set of quests even if you don't have Arena. In short, you have to place a poster in Fortress on Customs, and the posters can't go into the secure container, which is where the challenge of the quest comes in. Skier does give you 3 in the initial equipment, so it is quite lenient, but if you fail with those 3, each one after is going to cost you 130k, so you'd best be careful. Fortunately, you don't need to survive though, and once it's done, Ref opens up as a trader in the menu and we can see his stock. So BSG have opened up both Ref 1 and 2, and this does matter because people who've been playing their dailies and or have the bonuses from EOD or whatever probably have Ref at level 2 already. As you can see here, I've nearly got the trader rep requirement for level 3 actually. All I've got to do is complete 1 more weekly. But for those people who don't have Arena, you're almost certainly going to be stuck on level 1 because you're not going to have been completing dailies along the way. Now, you will get some GP coins if you go into Ref's tasks. You could see Easy Money Part 1. This will give you 52 GP coins. This is the task after the unlock. And this one, you just have to give him 5 food and drinks that are found in raids. This one's pretty easy. So you do get a few GP coins to start with, and you can find them in safes as well. But obviously the vast majority of the source of GP coins is going to come from Arena itself in the form of daily and weekly quests. Now you might notice in mine, it looks a little bit strange and it looks a bit different because all of these items in green, except for a couple of them, are special ones from the Battle Pass. So I finished the Battle Pass and I bought all the cosmetic items over there, which basically included strange balaclavas like this. So that's why I've got all of these various items here. But other than that, it'll be exactly the same set of regular equipment as people unlocking him for the first time without Arena. So on the whole, I actually don't think level 1 is that bad. It looks kind of bad from first glance because of these guns, because these are pretty good guns compared to probably what you're using right now in the hardcore wipe, and 2 of them are suppressed, but they are 56 and 46 GP coins, so they do cost a little bit of money, and they're not actually the best builds of all time. Yes, you do get the suppressor here, and you get this nice suppressor on this one, so they are good, but I don't think it's necessarily game breaking in terms of what you get. Probably some of the best things on here is this one. This looks just like the skull lock head mount, but this has actually got one of these PVS 14s on there. And one of the problems right now is that even if you do find night vision in the hardcore wipe, you actually can't put them on anything because you can't buy these middle mounts. So the ability to buy an MVG that isn't just the horrible tank helmet version over from Prapor with the Apollo barter is pretty strong. You can get a class 3 helmet, which is this one, which is quite good, but those are not too hard to find in the basic game. And also you can get class 3 armor, but you can buy Kura Kulons and you can craft press armors relatively easily in the hideouts. That's not too big of a deal, but I don't think there's anything particularly unbalanced about this. Obviously the key tool is very, very helpful. This is a 4x4 grid where you can put keys in, either just for storage or taking them into raid. And if you're playing without Arena, you probably can't buy one of these straight away. The only thing that I would point out where it probably gives people a bit of a leg up is on this OPSKS. This one is basically the build that you need for Gunsmith, so you can complete that pretty much just with this build straight up. Okay, so if BSG had left it here, I think it probably would have been okay, but unfortunately they've opened up level 2 as well. And let's just jump over to here. Now you have some ammo, FMJ for 545, PS12 for the Ash 12. Neither of these are really that important right now. SS197SR for the P90. Again, this is just kind of a serviceable regular use ammo, but nothing particularly good. And then you have TCWSP. TCWSP is decent. It's a good bullet for 7.62 by 51. And currently, because Skier is locked at level 1, you can't buy this. This is where you normally would get that, is on Skier. So you can get this slightly earlier on Ref if you really want to run something like an RFB or a Hunter. There's the mini grenade, which frankly, they kind of suck. And then outside of this is various other bits and pieces. Thinking about Gunsmith again, because Peacekeeper 2 is locked, you can't get the MP5 SD. This is really, really hard to complete Gunsmith 3 without Peacekeeper. But you can buy the MP5 SD from Ref, and then you could just buy the drum magazine that goes with it, also straight from Ref. So you can go straight through that task and onto the next one, which is a little bit of an advantage because they've released Ref 2 before the other traders. Now, some of these guns are more or less useful. This AK-101 is a little bit strange, but I guess you could put ammo into this, is not too bad. The MCX, you can't really buy the rounds for it, so it's not really a big deal. And the same thing with the MP7, and kind of the same thing with the P90. The two best guns, I would say, in this particular category are the RD704. This is pretty much a close to meta build. All you need to do is stick a foregrip on this thing because it's got the best in-slot suppressor and the best in slot stock along with the best in slot pistol grip. So this thing is actually kind of insane. The SR25, obviously this comes with a TAC 30 and a suppressor. This is also quite good. The saving grace of this is that you can now barter for the TAC 30 over on Jaeger. So it's not that you unable to get this in the other traders, but this is clearly a very, very strong weapon. It does cost 71 GP though, so it is quite pricey. Now, a little bit further down is where refs really starts to become quite powerful, and this is the cases. It is very difficult to get these cases right now. It's pretty much impossible. You have to find them in like marked rooms or something. The only one that we can do is the barter with Therapist for the meds case. Currently, we can't get the ammo case, the plate case, and you can buy the key case, but it's nearly 1,000,000 rubles. And so in a particularly storage constrained wipe, these are seriously useful. And if you don't have access to ref and the GP coins to buy these things, then your stash is going to suffer, and that's probably going to be mostly players who are on standard accounts as well. So it's like the gap is getting wider on this stash thing, and I don't really like it. Just for a bit of context, for those of you who don't actually play Arena and haven't played it previously, I'll drag over this. This is my current account. As you can see, I finished the Battle Pass last wipe. We're still on the same one, but I've at the moment got, and I've not transferred over any money or any GP coins, by the way, because I think it ruins the integrity of the wipe, which is why I haven't done it yet. I'm trying to go through it on my own and struggle and suffer, which is why I've got no money, and every time I try to get some money I end up spending it on a junk box or I'll trade a rep or whatever it might be. But I've got 571 GP coins in here, and that basically comes from 8 days worth of dailies that I've done so far and 1 weekly. I still have the weekly from this week to do, and that one is looking something like this. So I basically have to play Checkpoint, which is the domination game style, and you just have to get points. So if you just play it enough, you will get this completed. That's going to give me another 90, which is a good portion actually. It's about another 20% because the weeklies are good. And then a Lega medal, which allows you to buy special things, which we'll cover in a second. Do notice that obviously alongside actually getting money for winning the games, you get 300,000 rubles for completing this quest too. So the money in Arena is really, really easy. So with the trove of GP coins that I've managed to get so far, I could buy all of these cases immediately if I wanted to. But obviously, if you're using it continuously after 5 or 6 raids or something, you probably will run out. So the prices are a bit more fair than they were. This is more about access that's the issue. And this brings me on to where I think it is actually kind of broken. So here you have the TC800 helmet. This is a class 4 helmet. You currently can't buy this anywhere on the traders at the moment. This is the only place you can get it is on ref. And this is the reason why I genuinely think that BSG should have opened up Skier, Peacekeeper, and Ragman before opening up ref. I don't really care about mechanic as much, but Skier, Peacekeeper, and Ragman, because Peacekeeper allows you to access some of the weapons that are in here, Ragman allows you to access class 4 armor, and the thing about class 4 helmets is that they're just so powerful at the moment. To put it in context, what armor class 4 means is that you need to have a penetration on your bullets of 37, otherwise you have a less than 50% chance of going through this helmet. Obviously you can shoot them in the face or the ears or whatever, but that means that even 762 PS, which is one of the best bullets that people are running at the moment, will bounce off this helmet approximately 40% of the time. This is a massive, massive advantage, and it's the reason why class 4 helmets are so good. If we bring up the wiki, this is ref here, but we'll look at the wiki and see which helmets you're actually able to get at level 2 traders. You can get this one, the TC2001, from Peacekeeper level 2 after completing Wet Job Part 2. And if we go to the flea market interface, we can see how much this is going to cost. This will cost you $820. Right now, based on the in-game economy, that's worth roughly 120,000 rubles for a class 4 helmet, which is absolutely insane. When comparatively, on 26 GP coins, I mean, I could buy 20 of these with the amount that I've got. The next one is this one here, which is a lavatory level 2 craft to make the 2002, which is pretty good. To be honest, that one is actually a pretty good one. Getting to lavatory level 2 is a bit tricky. I'm still not there yet myself. The final one is this one here, which is a barter, which in the hardcore wipe is going to be quite difficult to do because topographic survey maps are quite hard to get hold of. And obviously you need Peacekeeper 2, which we don't have at the moment. So I think that this one is too powerful for the access that we have right now. The next one is the class 4 armors. There are 2 here. We have the Interceptor OTV and we have the A&A M2 Tactical Plate Carrier. This is one of my favorite ones. The OTV is good, don't get me wrong. This thing's got Spartan Elafros's in it, which is all right. But remember that this is also a rig as well. It's got some really, really nice space in it. But the issue is that because Ragman is only at level 1, we can't get class 4 armor in the game at all at the moment. The only way that you can get it is by going into raids. You either need to go and farm bosses, boss guards, you have to go and loot stashes to hopefully try and find an armor there. You can go and kill rogues and raiders maybe, but you have to actually go into raid and risk something to go and do it. With this, all you have to do is move over some GP coins and you can grab yourself some class 4 armor. If you're being really clever about it, then you're probably going to take out the class 4 backplate and put something else in the front, or just leave it bare if you want to, and then you can spread that out amongst other carriers. You can make class 3 backplates in the laboratory by doing the press armor craft. And every time you do it, you just take out the front plate and you generate a back plate. So you could put the back plate as class 3 into one of these, or you could just run it class 4 if you want to as well. But in terms of the ordering, I just think that Ref 2 shouldn't have been open before Ragman, because you can't access this stuff in the traders right now, and it is just bad for the pacing of the hardcore wipe. So in terms of pricing, I mean, we talked a little bit about it before. If I just pull Ref up in the wiki, this is the old amounts, because the wiki guys haven't updated everything on here, which is actually quite handy. You can see how much things used to cost and how much they do now. So in fairness, there has been a significant change in prices. So the OTV used to be 9 GP coins, which was basically negligible. It was like pennies, right? Now it's 65, so there's a lot more. You've got the ANAM2 that was 15, and now it is 71. So it's significant at this point. It is, 3 or 4 times higher than it was previously. I mean, the OTV is like way higher. The cases are exactly the same as they used to be. So if you look here, these guys are all the same. They haven't changed these at all. I don't mind about that as much, I guess, because it's kind of just like stash progression. It's just stash lines at the end of the day. It's not actually helping you in the raid. Yes, you can keep more stuff and you get more progression that way, but it's not as direct as somebody having class 4 armor when they wouldn't have it normally. On that basis, you can actually go to the flea market interface and look up everything for GP as well. And you can go into various gear components and whatever and see what's available here. And if you go into armor, you can see the ones that are the most expensive right now. There were the ones that were previously super good, like the Outer Armor CPC Mod 1. AACPC was one of my favorites. This did get moved over onto Ref 4, because even in the regular Tarkov wipe, it used to be on Ref 3, and that was actually kind of broken. And last wipe, it was 33 GP coins. So now it is 126. That's a lot better. You've also got something strange here, which is coming later on, which is the Zabralo. This comes fully equipped with plates, as you can see here, and those are the class 6s. Previously, that cost us 59 GP coins. This now costs 141. So this is significant, and I do think that the prices are a lot better. Don't get me wrong, I want to give credit where credit's due, and the fact that they've increased the prices of these things is a lot better than it used to be. But my problem right now is just the pacing on Ref. The ability to buy this right now, I just think that it's unbalanced, and what it should do is it should give you an alternative source for the same stuff if you like playing Arena, rather than just giving you an actual leg up. Like right now, there's a gap difference between the two until they open up Ragman 2 and we do a bunch of quests on streets to unlock various trades and barters from him. One thing that I didn't really talk about was Lega medals. So there's 2 that are available at the moment. There's some more that come later on for some of the like really insane guns like the Mark 18, that kind of thing. But at the moment we've got 2, which is the 2 keys. We've got Shatun's hideout key. This is the one on Woods. And then we've got Grumpy's hideout key. People never really used to run Shatun that much. It was okay, but Grumpy's was the one that really kind of caught people's attention, because this is the one which is in the power station building. It's that old little room with the shower and the bathroom, and they've turned that one into Grumpy's room. And when you go in there, or at least when you used to go in there, there was just loads of high-end ammos like an M905, a Golnik, all sorts of stuff. Guns that are fully kitted out, and so it's going to be interesting to see exactly what they've done with this, because Lega medals, you don't get them very often. You can see on my screenshot here that you get one for doing this weekly, and very occasionally you get them for a daily, but it's not that common, and so typically you're maybe getting 2, at most maybe 3 a week, something like that. If you aggressively replace your daily tasks, maybe you can get a few more, but normally if you just accept the ones that you like, you normally only get about 1 or 2 per week. These keys only have 5 uses on them, so it's not like you can go in there a billion times, but the stuff in there is really good. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how that's balanced this wipe, because again, there might be something else that I take great offense to. So overall, is it the end of the world? No, not really. I just think it's a bit of a shame, because some of these things seem to just be taking away from the hardcore wipe. I think the money transfer is still way too much. As I said, I've not transferred over any money myself because I want the more pure experience of the hardcore wipe, because this is kind of a wipe for me to just experience something unique and interesting as a one-off, rather than trying to min-max the living crap out of every single mechanic. And I do actually think that Ref level 1 was probably okay. If they just opened up Ref level 1 and left it, then they opened up Skier, Ragman, Peacekeeper, and then probably Mechanic, and then after that opened up Ref level 2 a few days later, I think that actually would have been okay, honestly. But right now Ref has kind of leapfrogged ahead of the other traders, which means that if you've got Arena and loads of GP coins, you've just got a disproportionate level of gear easily available to you versus everybody else that doesn't. The very last thing that I will say is that I don't know how far down the Ref questline you can go. Do remember that there is a way of getting the Theta container, even if you don't have Arena, based on this questline. So I'm going to link that video above just to remind you. You don't need to watch it now, but go back and reference it if you don't have Arena, because basically, once you get to a certain specific quest in the line, you will then have 3 days to complete it. So you kind of want to time it in the right place. That quest in particular is Balancing Part 1. It gives you the Escape from Tarkov Arena free trial. So once you've done Easy Money Part 2, just be a little careful about balancing Part 1, because I'm not sure yet if all of these quests are going to be open. And if you activate the free trial and then the quest line isn't fully open all the way to the end of Theta, it's going to be really annoying. So maybe wait a minute and see if people could get to the Theta quest line, those people who actually just have Arena anyway and are not under any time gate, because once you've completed balancing part 1, this Escape from Tarkov Arena free trial will activate and you've got 3 days from then. So keep your schedule clear and try to make it work, because the Theta container is better than the Epsilon. It is better than doing Punisher part 6 right now, because you get 10 slots and it's basically an Epsilon with 2 extra lines on it. And what that's going to do is give you a case bigger than those people with EOD and Unheard and close the gap significantly. So there you have it. As always, a big shout out to all my patrons, and as usual, have fun in your raids.